Hello and a very warm welcome to this week's Scene on 7. I'm Steve Brennan. Now then, if you've got any ideas at all about going out or changing channels for the next hour, I urge you to forget it. My very special guest this week typifies a story that has a very happy ending against all the odds. Mike Golding's story is all about man against the elements, in his case, the sea. And a little bit later, lots more to look forward to as well. So stay tuned, we're saving the best for last. First, a sneak preview at the other goodies in the show this week. We check out Premier returning Crystal Palace and their help for small boys in football. We say goodbye to Sheila Thorpe and hello to Ron Sibley. Tom Magner meets them both. And Tony O'Rourke has the pleasure of meeting the donkeys at Burnham Beeches on their very special Donkey Derby and their special guest, Johnny Ball. And as I mentioned earlier, Mike Golding will be sailing into the studio to talk to me and you about his epic round-the-world journey and leaving his boat behind. Still on the water, the Cole Norton Dragons from Eton College will be taking their boat to not to Crystal Palace, to Canary Wharf. The football season is over, and apart from a little unfinished business, the World Cup, in America next month, those of you who are not so keen on the game can breathe a sigh of relief. However, as we're not in the World Cup finals, we should be training our kids in the skillful aspects of football, so that one day we may eventually lift the World Cup yet again. Hot on that trail and returning to the Premiership, Crystal Palace have the same idea. Andre Maradian went along to find out more. Here's his report.
With the superb season that Crystal Palace have had, culminating in promotion to the Premiership, we've come back to the Crystal Palace Centre of Excellence to see how the coaching has been going throughout the season. I'm going to be talking to Andy Ritchie, who's the coaching director for the Centre of Excellence here in Bracknell.
Barcelona. Monaco. Yeah. Okay, Bayern Munich, you're resting first, Andy. So Lee, if you want to make a base, go and get your drinks, okay? Come over here, make your base over there, right, and maybe give a hand with Kathy from Mizuno as well, all right? And you'll be on next game. Good. Okay, well done.
Andy, been a good season for you, hasn't it?
It has, certainly for the first team.
Yeah,
it's been super. It obviously rubs off. Yeah, it's been good fun.
Promotion to the Premiership, not too bad, is it?
No, that's very good. So the chairman will be happy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, earn some money, and but obviously the players. I think with a young squad, we've worked tremendously hard, and Alan Smith must be delighted.
Sure.
Yeah.
How's it affecting the coaching that you're doing down here?
It shouldn't affect it in any other way apart from possibly now we'll get more time because the investment may now be greater. Although when we started, we were Premier League in the first place. So that's, I think, every credit to the club for keeping the same investment going when we were relegated last year. But possibly, or hopefully, some more time for the boys.
Right. Now, we've been down to visit you here before.
Yeah.
What's actually happened now during the season? Has there been any success from the boys here in regards to going on to major clubs?
Yeah, well, this is the time of year, obviously, where in fact, a couple of months ago when we decided on who we're actually going to offer the YTS form to, which is a 2-year apprenticeship. And delighted to say that Andy Freeman and Will Shirling were offered, well, one was offered non-contract, and we supported him. He wanted to do A-levels, and then the other actually wanted to take the 2-year YTS.
And this is both the Crystal Palace Football Club?
That's right, both for Crystal Palace.
Right, well, that's really excellent.
Yeah, we're delighted.
Yeah. And this evening we've come down here to see you tonight, and this is the last session of the season. You've got your prize giving.
Yeah.
What else is going on?
Well, it's really the last session where the boys can get to meet possibly people they're going to be looking to be as good at next year. So the 10s and 11s are playing at the moment, and we've mixed those up. 12s and 13s a little bit later on, then the older ones later. So I think it's as much as social as anything else. There's a little bit of admin for me to do later on. But other than that, I just hope the boys, you know, have a good time now and take something away. And it was a fond memory, relative, or whatever happens next year for them. Because unfortunately, we can't take them all again next year. So
yeah.
I just want it to be fun now and forget about that at the moment.
So summer break, and then you start again in
September. I don't like to start any earlier. I think they need a rest. They train on AstroTurf, which is demanding on them. And I think it's important that we look after their health. I think they should swim, cycle, play some tennis, come back in September really fresh and ready to go.
What about computer games? Lay off those, or...?
Oh, definitely. If they're going to do anything like that, I'd rather it was juggling a ball. Oh, yeah. No, if they're going to do something, then as long as it's with a ball.
Right. Well, we wish you all the very best of luck, and hopefully see you again in September for the start of a new season.
I hope so. Thank you.
And there you have it. As you can see, the club is going from strength to strength, and we at WMtv wish them all the very best for the coming season. This has been Andre Moradian for WMtv Sport on 7, here at the Crystal Palace Centre of Excellence.
Thanks, Andre. And we also wish Chelsea the best of luck. Oh, what a giveaway. Personally, I can't wait for the new season, but a nice long summer would be very welcome. And soon, please. Last week, we reported on the swearing-in of new Mayor of Slough, Ron Sibley, but we thought that as a tribute to Mayor Sheila Thorpe, his predecessor, we'd show you them both and have a glimpse at how the new Mayor will fill this important year of official duties. Our reporter is Mr. Tom Magner.
When you've looked through newspapers and magazines recently, one advert you won't have seen is for the new Mayor of Slough. Every May, like clockwork, this traditional job passes from one elected councillor to another in the borough's majority party. As your 12 months as Mayor comes to an end, Councillor Sheila Thorpe, how successful do you think you've been?
Very. I've achieved more than I thought I would. I set out to achieve a forum for young people. Those are going on in every single ward in the town now, so I think I've done extremely well.
You've been to almost countless number of events probably during the year. Anything unusual happened?
I've had hundreds and hundreds of unusual things happening. Probably the thing that stands out most in your mind is the gunge tank, obviously. I don't think there's any other mayor that's been gunged with lime green poster paint, flour and water. So I suppose that stands out in your mind more than anything. But I've been to some really strange ones and some really nice ones. And I've had some sad ones. So it's been quite an eventful year.
Cricket's one of your hobbies, and you've met some famous people, of course, during the year.
Cricket is my passion for the summer. And I went to meet Imran Khan and the Pakistani team, and I met the Indian team with Azharuddin. I must say that I went off Imran slightly. He's a bit arrogant for me. He's a not very nice person. I didn't find him accessible. I did have a new hero, though. Wasim Akram, who I met in a very short white towel coming out of a shower. So he's my new hero now.
Just on a more serious note, Sheila, you're a councillor, and of course, therefore, you have a political motivation most of the time. But of course, during your year as mayor, you've had to put aside politics to be neutral.
No, sorry, I didn't. I didn't actually...
Isn't that against the rules?
No, there is no standing order ever to say that mayors are non-political. You're elected on a party ticket, and therefore you should continue to support your own party. I would never go to anything that was against my party policy. And I'm being criticised for it, and the Tories and the Liberals were quite annoyed that I handed them a wooden spoon at the end of the year, but you know, it's party politics, regardless of what you say. So, no, I would never do anything to damage my party.
Councillor Ronald Sibley, your time has come now to take up the chain of office. How do you see the next 12 months?
Well, I'm looking forward very much to serving the people of Slough. I'm very concerned and interested in what is going to happen during this coming year. And at the very beginning, we're going to have the local government review.
To many of us, the mayor seems to suddenly appear at the beginning of the year. It seems to be a mysterious process. How do you actually get selected to be a mayor?
Well, it's not like the Pope. We don't have a little chimney outside and white smoke appears and the new mayor is elected. One is approached and then one is looked at and see if one is suitable as well to become mayor. I count it an honour and privilege to have been asked, because 20 years ago, to this day, near enough. My father-in-law, the late Bill Park, was made Mayor of Slough. My wife, Rosemary, was made Mayoress. So my wife will become Mayoress of Slough for the second time. And I think this is a feat which is unknown at the moment.
Many people think that the mayor should be politically neutral. Sheila, during her year of office, has openly admitted to still keeping the political bandwagon rolling. How do you feel about the year?
Well, I most probably will be a more conservative mayor with a small c. I will try to represent the people of Slough. That is who I'm elected to do on behalf of. And I shall most probably be a little bit more independent. Although, if the occasion demands it and the majority is in jeopardy, then I shall most probably will use my casting vote. But as you realise, Slough has a very large Labour majority, and I don't foresee that happening.
As Sheila hands over her chain of office, the mayor's charity appeal sets its sights on caring for the carers. And we look forward to catching up with Ron in your neighbourhood over the next 12 months.
Thank you very much, Tom, and we wish all the success in the world to Councillor Ron Sibley, the new Mayor of Slough. Now then, households throughout Berkshire are being urged to help reduce pollution and protect wildlife by recycling cooking oils and fats. Leaflets from the Berkshire Recycling Forum are also going out to the catering trade to enlist their help as well. Oil is the most commonly reported water pollutant, causing nearly 25% of all incidents. Drums for recycling all these oils and fats are now provided across Berkshire. Sounds like a great idea, and if you'd like more details about facilities in our region, then please call the Wasteline on the following number, 0734 234 595, 0734 234 595. We're going to take a break there to top up the water jug and prepare for some fascinating guests. Or guest, should I say. I'll be meeting Mike Golding, local firefighter turned round-the-world yachtsman, and his latex companion. He'll be telling me all about her. Lots of congratulations to him. He's got a fascinating story to tell, and I hope that you can join me in the second half of this week's Scene on 7. Stay right there.
Ideal Home Superstore.
Whatever you're looking for to furnish your house, look no further than the
Ideal Home Superstore.
In our giant store on the Bath Road, Sydenham, the choice just has to be seen to be believed. With interest-free credit on some items, this is the ideal place.
Ideal Home Superstore.
388 to 389 Bath Road, just off Junction 7. It's the ideal
Superstore.
I'm a real dummy. So if they ever let me get behind the wheel of a car, you know what I'd do? I'd never watch out for cyclists or motorcyclists, especially at junctions and roundabouts. Why should I care if they're more fragile than me, huh? I could also hit them when turning or reversing or just by opening my car door without checking in my mirrors first. I could behave just as badly on a bike. I'd start by not using my lights at night. Whoosh. Then, by riding as if I owned the road, I could intimidate pedestrians by cycling through red lights or riding on the pavement. Just as well I'm only a dummy, isn't it? Don't be a dummy. Consider the needs of others. Remember, you're not the only one on the road.
Welcome back. You're watching WMtv, and it's 16 minutes past the hour. Right, this week's update comprises a warning about creepy crawlies. Do not, I didn't mean double glazing salesmen, by the way, they're not in the area, but caterpillars, which can cause irritation to the skin and eyes, have been found in our area, and you should be wary of them. The caterpillars, immature brown-tailed moths, vary in size from 20 to 30 millimetres and are black and brown in colour. They have tufts of brown hair, sounds like police file, and orange spots along their backs. Silk nests, similar to the spider's webs, will usually be present in vegetation which has been infested. The caterpillar's hairs can cause severe rashes on the skin if handled or by walking through infective scrub. Strange word, but there we are. The hairs can also be blown by the wind and collect on your washing line. So if you've hung washing out to dry near infested vegetation, it can cause irritation when the clothing is subsequently worn. The best method of control is to cut out and burn the silk nests in which the pupae live during the winter. And in summer, spraying with an appropriate insecticide is reasonably effective. This will kill exposed caterpillars, but it's unlikely to kill those within silk nests unless they are drenched with spray. Whenever pesticides are used, it's advisable to read and follow the instructions on the label carefully. Indiscriminate use of pesticides is harmful to the environment. Physical destruction of the winter nest is preferable to any spraying at all. This will ensure that only the caterpillars are controlled and not other useful insects. There is only a minimal risk to health from these caterpillars, and unless they're handled and contact is made with the irritating hairs, there's no risk at all. So for this reason, it's advisable not to handle the caterpillars and to educate your children accordingly. If you're worried about it at all or you'd like further information, then contact the Environmental Services Division on the following number, 0753, that's Slough, 875 204. That's 875 204. Tales of more creatures now, and the Burnham Beeches Rotary Club celebrated Donkey Derby took place very recently. This raises valuable funds for charity and is an important annual event in the social calendar. As you're about to discover, the weather was not too kind, but lots of brave souls went along to enjoy the day, and some of the lucky ones met our intrepid Tony O'Rourke into the bargain.
Hi-ho, Silver! This week we're at Burnham Beeches in Buckinghamshire, covering the Burnham Beeches Donkey Derby.
Welcome to the derby. Everything goes on despite the rain, it really does. And all we ask you to do is leave your money. Everyone's turned out. I think it's marvellous in this weather that people have turned out. So now they're here. Have a great day. It's going to be soggy, but the spirit's there. We're all happy, aren't we? Oh, thanks. And thanks to Burnham Rotary for organising this. Despite the odds, it's going to be great. Thank you. I declare this whole fete wet but working. It's open.
Johnny, I remember you from play school.
Good, have you got a tremendous memory? That's 8 years, you know, since the last one.
Is it really? You did that for 16 years, didn't you? 16 years you did that.
Only for 16 years. This is sort of a casual job, yeah.
Weekends, yeah. Tell me this, how are you involved in the Burnham Donkey Derby?
Well, Roy Castle was here last year, Bill Owen, well, they asked me to come this year because they always get somebody, some sort of celeb to help. But really, it's not me. I mean, it's the people that get involved with Burnham Rotary. There's so many of them. You can look at the site and the stalls and everything is working. Despite it pouring out with rain, they're all working here. And the customers are coming, you know. £17,000 we raised last year, and we'd like to beat that. With this weather, it's doubtful. But the thing is, everybody's here and still enjoying themselves in the rain. It's great.
Right. You're very busy at the moment because you're about to record your new series.
Well, we've done that. I did that. It's
Johnny Ball Reveals All.
That's right. Series 5 for Central, for ITV, yeah. And that goes out in about a month, 6 weeks' time, yeah.
Right.
And yes, very busy all around.
And your daughter, you must be very proud of Zoe. She's now following in your footsteps on the BBC.
About 4 series at a time, Zoe. Yes, it's very nice. She's still in her first year as a presenter. Still in her first year. Made it. She got on screen 4 years before I did, or 4 years ahead of me. And it's tremendous, you know. Nothing to do with me, you know.
Really?
No, I have no connection at all. She did it all herself, and it's lovely. I'm very thrilled for it. You know?
Right. What are you going to do now? You're going to go away and commentate?
I'm going to ride a very soggy donkey, and I'm going to get wet through and very soggy and muddy. But it's for charity, and it'll be great fun.
That's the main thing.
Yeah.
Steady! On your mark. Let's go! 3, 2.
John Stafford, how long has this event been going on, the Burnham Beeches Donkey Derby?
Donkey Derby, well this is the fourth year of the Derby, and it's bigger and better than ever before, and we're hoping to get a good turnout this afternoon.
How many people are you expecting through the gate today?
Last year we had 5,000. It really depends on the weather. As you can see, it's a bit cloudy and a bit rainy at the moment.
Just a bit?
Just a bit. It's a bit wet, isn't it? But who knows? Hopefully we'll get at least 5,000 in.
Right. How much money are you going to make then with 5,000 people through the gate?
Last year, in total, we made £12,000, which we donated to cancer care. Last year, we're going to beat that this year.
Who's getting the money this year?
It's going to the Marie Curie Cancer Care. That's you know, obviously, you know, it's a nationwide outfit that care for patients in their homes. Nurses, and this particular money is going to local nurses, 75 of them who visit homes where they're cancer patients.
Just looking at the old donkeys there, and some of them look just a little bit precarious. Do you think the kids know what they're doing? Are they in control?
Oh, they're in control, yes. I'm not sure about the donkeys, but it's pretty wet out there, but everyone's having good fun.
Here in Preston. And what are you actually going to do here today?
We're going to do
oh yes, here's our sponsor. Oh yes. Oh yes.
We're going to do an agility course.
Right.
We've got miniature dogs and full-size dogs. Oh. We're going to go over a series of obstacles and through tunnels. Because of the wet weather, we haven't been able to bring all of our equipment because it's a bit too slippy. But,
what kind of dogs are they?
Oh, range from Jack Russells, Border Terriers, German Shepherds, Airedales.
Oh wow!
Yeah, we've got a good, and crossbreeds.
You train them, do you, yourself?
Oh, yes. Yeah, it's about 3 nights a week on training, yeah.
Exciting.
Yeah.
Harry Sparks, where have you come from today?
Cookham.
All right, yeah. Sort of localish lad.
Yeah, just,
And this is a real steam engine.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Not just slack.
no, anthracite.
Hey, that's incredible. Come round here, you. Look at this in here. Look, this is real coal that goes in here. You've got a proper fire going. Oh, that one's a bit too big. This is incredible, this is. Look at it.
JC Wildlife is a natural history teaching. We go have several owls and hawks and falcons, and we take them around to the schools and actually teach the natural history with these different birds.
How many birds have you got?
Oh, well over 70.
Really? Must cost a few bob then. You said it's a hobby, is it?
Well, the Berkshire Wildlife Rehabilitation is my hobby, but the JC Wildlife is a company.
Right.
But they are so intermingled that you can't tell one from the other, really. I'm doing this all day.
Are you expecting any trouble today?
Whatsoever. Nice friendly day. Nice day.
Hello, what are your names?
Bianca. Stephanie James.
Bianca and Stephanie James. Where are you from?
Maidenhead.
Maidenhead? You're both from Maidenhead, are you?
I'm from Taplow.
Oh, and tell me this, do you ride?
Yeah.
You do? So riding donkeys is going to be easy for you, is it?
Sort of.
Yeah? Have you ever fallen off?
Yes.
Who's this? Who are you? What's your name?
Jason.
Jason, where are you from, Jason?
Burnham.
Burnham, have you been on TV before?
Yeah.
Yeah, what were you on?
Cable.
Have you had a little flutter, have you?
Yeah.
Yeah, have you won anything?
Yeah.
Have you? What was the last race?
I won a chocolate from the chocolate lottery and got I forgot what that was, and I've been on the fun house.
Oh, well, that's the main thing then, isn't it? Having a bit of fun then. Right. Can I just ask you if this is the first year that you've actually attended the Burnham Beeches Donkey Derby? Oh, well, that told me, didn't it? How's it going, Johnny? How's it been today?
Well, it's soggy, but it's gone very well. You know, people have been pouring into the tent, getting the bets on. Fourth race is coming up now. The auction went well. It took a while to get the people up. We just had the falcons flying, which is super, you know. And it's coming on to rain again now, but it had stopped about now. But it's gone very well, you know.
The money's coming in though, is it?
Well, there's a great thing in a lot of money comes in with people supporting it beforehand. So a lot of the money's drawn in before the event. You know, the rental for the fair and things. So it will still make a few, but it will be down on last year. But that's all right. It swings and roundabouts. Next year will be bigger than ever.
Come on, keep it going.
It's not quite the Jubilee line extension, but at least it does exist. Back to you now, Steve, in the studio.
He always says that. Sorry, couldn't resist it, but there we are. Thanks again, Tony. And to date, despite the terrible weather, an incredible £12,000 was raised, which is an even bigger achievement considering the weather. So congratulations to all concerned. Rotary clubs, do it again. My guest this week has a terrific story to tell, so we're going to devote a great deal of time to it. And it's a particular pleasure to welcome a busy Mike Golding to WMtv. Now, Mike, many congratulations. The reason you're here is all about this and a considerable achievement. tell me exactly what you've done to win this trophy.
Well, it's the Group 4 Global Challenge Trophy, which is a trophy awarded for sailing solo around the world westabout. The only name engraved on it at the moment is Che Blythe's name, so I was out there having a go at his record.
On the back here.
Yeah, I'm not even engraved on there yet.
No, it's so fresh. Now, the record was, on the back here it says, I can relate to it, 292 days.
Yep.
It's been held since 1971. He was the first British man to win it, and you've really blitzed his record by an incredible amount. Tell me about that.
Well, I've beaten Che's record by 125 days. I completed the circumnavigation in 167 days and established a new round-the-world record from Ushant to Ushant of 121 days. Sorry, 161 days. And
you can do that next time.
I'll do that next time. But the point is that the next person that goes now will have to beat the 161 days. The point was Hamble's a very strange place to finish a single-handed record.
As we'll discover a little bit later on. Now, to beat a record that was in fact 292 days, to get it down to 167, you've apparently smashed it into a million pieces. And in fact broken it quite easily. Why have you broken it so easily? Why has nobody done it before?
Well, there's a number of reasons. The record has been attempted before. The big problem is the fact that the record is non-stop and it is westabout. And that means you're going against the prevailing conditions, which means you travel round past Cape Horn first, leaving Cape Horn on your right-hand side, and travelling across the Southern Ocean in a westerly direction. The reason why I've been able to beat the record by such a big margin is primarily, I believe, to do with expectation. The year before, well, 2 years ago now, I skippered the same boat in the British Steel Challenge race. And so I had a level of expectation about what the boat could do, and it was only a question of the fact that I was obviously without 13 crew, that was going to be the limiting factor. Of course, the equipment and the boat itself is a much more modern yacht.
It's moved on considerably since '71 and Che's record.
But of course, I mean, ultimately, it's all about you're still very much on your own.
Right.
And so, although I did have more modern electronics, etc., they did help, but it wasn't that alone.
It's hard to motivate yourself for something like this. I mean, there must have been some sort of spur that made you do it in any event. But apart from that in itself, what was the biggest challenge? I mean, was it the weather? Is it the unpredictability of the weather and the unpredictability of the sea conditions?
No, in fact, I think the most challenging thing for me personally was simply the fact that I was on my own. I'm not naturally someone who would want to go and incarcerate myself away from everyone else for that period of time. But the fact that I wanted the record sort of exceeded my sort of lack of desire to spend that much time alone. So that was definitely the hardest thing to overcome.
Any other special challenges? I mean, was there a point in it, for example, where you said, I've had enough of this, I want to get off, I don't want to carry on? Did you get to that point?
There was a point where certainly my resolve became shaky. A few days past Hobart, I had one of the main generators failed, and on the same day both the autopilots failed.
This is about halfway round?
This is about halfway round, so I was about 3 months into the passage. And with so much equipment going wrong on one day of a passage that I still had 2 months to sort of sail, it was a very tempting thing then to quit. And in many respects, people have said this, that was the point where I decided whether I really wanted to do this or not, because I could have easily cut off then. There was land, a safety of an Australian port, very well, relatively close, and I knew that I was going on into the worst part of the passage without the aid of autopilots potentially, and possibly without power. It was so bad, that situation, that in actual fact I ended up at one point with all my sophisticated electronics turned off, and sit in candlelight at night.
Right.
So it did get pretty difficult then.
The other thing about it is this is actually considered to be going the wrong way, east to west. Why is it considered the wrong way? Might seem a very simple question, but there are actually reasons why everybody tries it the other way around.
That's right. Conventionally, all the existing, or most of the existing records take place the right way round.
That's the Whitbread, for example.
The Whitbread race, most other round-the-world events, there are other ones, solo events, they all go the right way. And what that means is that they sail eastabout round the world, meaning that they pass South Africa first, and then they come past Cape Horn and back into the Atlantic last. I went the other way, so I went to Cape Horn first and came back round South Africa last. Now, the real point about that is that you are going against the prevailing winds and against the prevailing currents. And I think what makes it more unique is that once you start trying to establish records, you tend to sail in the higher latitudes, closer and closer to Antarctica, because in doing so, you cut the distance down. And until Che had done it 23 years ago, no one had ever done that. In fact, many people considered it to be utterly impossible, and hence his book's title was The Impossible Voyage. And until Che had done that, it was conceived as a virtual impossibility.
Now, I think you've won this by default, personally, for reasons that we explained earlier, and viewers will have to sort of bear with this, because this says on here that it was single-handed. Now, I happen to have it on very good authority, and even it's been in all the papers, that you weren't, in fact, alone on this journey. Tell me about Griselda.
Well, before I left, Che arrived on the morning of actually leaving the dock and wished me farewell, but he also gave me an extremely large parcel, which was also very heavy, and I was absolutely certain it was just designed to weigh the boat down so it'd go a bit slower and wouldn't break his record by so much. But in actual fact, when I opened that parcel on Christmas Day, I was surprised to find a number of things, and amongst them was Griselda, who was a bit of a joke blow-up doll.
Full size.
I emphasise the word joke.
Now when you discovered this, you did actually put Griselda to quite good use as an extra crew member, didn't you?
Well,
Tell me about the potential piracy thing, or potential...
That's right. When I came back into the Atlantic, I elected to sail a very easterly route. And in fact, at one point, I was very close into the African coast, and I was actually making my way through all the coastal fishing boats there. And I was sailing very close to Sierra Leone, a lot of third world type countries where people are very poor, and suddenly a guy goes past on a £500,000 piece of 20th century technology.
And the temptation might be too much.
The temptation, there is, modern day piracy does exist.
Yeah.
And although those coastlines are not known for it. And what actually happened was I sort of invented the story because it did sound it did sound.
I don't know if we should do the next bit.
It did sound quite good that I inflated. I had a fishing vessel follow me for a time, and I did have some concern that he was perhaps staying a little too far away, and I wondered what his game plan was. So I developed a little routine for what I'd do in the event that he got too close. So to go to sleep, I blew Griselda up and rigged her in a set of oilskins and left her standing at the helm, so that he thought, so that anyone that was about would think that the boat wasn't unmanned. Yeah.
I was. My next question, in fact, I was gonna, I hesitate to ask it. I was going to say, what did you miss most? The company of other people, but I don't know if I want you to answer.
Well, I definitely did.
But what did you miss? You mentioned earlier that the worst thing about the whole journey was the fact, okay, the elements and all the rest of it, and the battle against the wave. But the company of other people was the thing you missed most. What else did you really miss?
Well, obviously, I mean, food, good food. The flexibility of being able to do what you want to do.
Because outside the confines of the boat.
Outside the confines of the boat, because at the end of the day you're confining yourself. It's rather like being incarcerated, and you lack external stimulation of any description. Of course, once you've established a routine on the boat, you go through that and the weather changes, and that's a stimulation of sorts. But it's not like going out with friends, going down the pictures. It's not all the things that people take for granted on a day-to-day basis. And we are talking about a long period of time, 167 days spent within the confines of the boat, and that's very difficult. I think I found a very good method of avoiding getting too introspective about the trip. I was determined not to become introspective. I believe, I'm a great believer that you shouldn't look too deep. You should just get on with the task. I'm very task orientated. I have great tunnel vision, and I think it's the right way to go when you're trying to break records.
Focused, I think the phrase is.
Focused.
Now, we've got some footage here of some of the tail end of your journey here. Can you talk us through this? This is the flotilla, and you're just arriving here at the end of 167 days.
Yeah.
Just talk us through what's happening here.
Well, actually, there I look like I'm moving pretty well, and I probably am actually making progress there. But in reality, I was leaping backwards and forwards between the GPS navigator and looking at the plotter, and I looked like I was moving, but I was actually going backwards because the tide is rushing out the Solent really quickly. And there I'm trying to steer a very fine line where I'm going fast enough. Well, at that point, I'm actually aground there.
This was one of the major problems you had. You actually did run aground.
Well, that's right. I mean, I looked like I was moving forward, but I was actually going backwards, and I ran aground backwards. And the back of the keel hit the shingles bank first, and so I came to a grinding halt and had to wait there for the tide to turn and lift me off.
Are you just raising the mainsail here, are you?
No, what I'm doing there is I tried for a time to drag the boat off sideways using the spinnaker, which is the biggest sail on the boat.
It took you some hours, and then when it got dark, there you were.
Well, eventually, there was very, very little wind, and eventually I made my way up the Solent and arrived to a magnificent reception.
And I bet this little bottle of fizzy mineral water tasted
yes,
pretty good.
Yeah, it did indeed. It was wonderful to see everyone.
You did have a fantastic reception when you arrived. You had quite a few hundred people there, didn't you, by all accounts?
Yeah, I mean, from first thing in the morning till last thing at night, the boat was totally surrounded by support boats. All day, even when I was sitting on the shingles, there were support boats all around me.
In fact, the shots we had there were taken from a helicopter.
That's
and it was
right.
all about your personal ambition and challenge and this wonderful, wonderful trophy.
That's right. That's right.
What can I say? Final sort of question, really. I mean, it must be very hard actually adjusting back to normal life. What's that been like?
It's not actually proven as hard as I thought it might be, because it's going back to the question about focus. Because I was so intently focused on what I was doing, all I've done is come back and I've kept myself moving. I haven't actually stopped a great deal. I've not had any big letdowns and or feeling of anticlimax. And it was very much the same after the British Steel Challenge race. I came back and I kept going and very quickly evolved a new project and went off and did that. And in that way, I avoided the sort of unhealthy...
sort of down feeling.
The down feeling. Yeah. And so I'm very happy.
What can I say? Final question. Would you do it again?
Well, my little expression for that is, does a duck with one leg swim in circles?
It was a silly question, wasn't it, really? Listen, many congratulations, Mike. We're all very, very impressed and delighted you could join us and see the trophy as well.
That's my pleasure.
Many congratulations. We'll stay on the water now. If you're taking a quiet stroll near Eton Bridge, a little bit different to Mike's adventures on a Sunday morning, you may find it interrupted by lots of drumming and a speeding boat on the Thames. So, don't blink or you could miss the very impressive sight of the Cole Norton Dragon. Here's Elaine Arnold with that story.
Welcome to Millwall Docks and the world of dragon boat racing, Britain's newest and brightest water sport. Today is the national qualifying round event with over 24 crews taking part. We're about to meet one of those crews, the Cole Norton Dragons. You're the crew manager of the Cole Norton Dragons. How did they actually get together?
Well, we were called together by our boss at Eton College, who desperately wanted someone to take part at Cookham Regatta, and he issued an edict, can you get 20 guys together into the boat? So we had a volunteer call out, and amazingly we had more people respond than we needed, and we turned out, enjoyed it, and decided then to get a bit more serious in doing it.
And how long ago was that?
That was August '92, so that's what's 18 months ago.
And I mean, dragon boat racing itself, how long has it actually been a competitive sport?
In Great Britain, it's been going for about 8 years, but of course in the Far East, where it's a very, very big sport, going for many, many years.
Oh, right, so that's where it originated.
That's where it originated, in China and Hong Kong.
Right. And do you actually paddle yourself?
Yes, I do occasionally now, but I'm getting too old and too heavy. But one of the good things about dragon boating is that it caters for all ages and a mixed crew. So we've got the youngest in the crew is about 15 and the eldest is over 60, and men and women.
It makes it much more interesting, doesn't it?
Much more interesting. It's great fun, but it's tremendous for camaraderie and morale. Certainly in my department, where most of these people come from, there's really a buzz about the place since we've taken part in this. It really pulls everyone together, look forward, and there's quite a social life developed from it as well now.
Hi, Norman. Sorry, Dave.
Hello.
Love the outfit. Do you always dress up like this?
Only when Mr. Grimsdale's here.
Actually, it makes it much more entertaining. I think it's great. It's colourful.
You like
wild.
it?
Yeah.
Oh, you are awful.
You like me? But listen, as the drummer, who actually keeps in time with who? Do you keep in time with the paddlers, or do they have to paddle in time with you? How does it work?
The helmsman shouts the time initially. The strokes are the guys who lead everybody else, and I follow the two strokes, which are the two guys in front of the boat. But then when we come into the final sort of 50 metres or so, they follow me. We have to speed up and give a sprinting home.
So as you hit the drums and the paddles actually hit the water? I don't know if you notice,
when we're drumming, at the end of it, I do what's called a double bubble. It's sort of like a little drum roll.
That's right.
That's right. Well, that tells them that they've got to go full belt and full pressure and give it all they got.
Give it plenty, boys.
Yes.
Do you ever get put off by the other drummers? Say you've got 4 teams in one race. Do you ever get put off by them?
Funny you
or do they get put off by you?
That you got it in one. They've all complained about me because I make too much noise.
Now, what do you like most about this dragon boat racing, apart from dressing up?
I don't normally dress up. No, actually, the good thing about it is, I mean, to get sort of 22 or 30 people coming away on a weekend, you know, for dragon boating, it's great fun. And we have got something in this team which most other teams haven't got, and that's good camaraderie. It's great. I mean, we're a good team. We enjoy ourselves. We do it for the fun. We are serious when we have to be, but when we're off the boat, we can have a good laugh and a joke, which is makes the sport enjoyable. Otherwise, you're running around. You know, if you're too serious too much, like some of the crews.
Well, that's right. I mean, it's important to have fun. That's the most important thing, to have a good team spirit, isn't it?
It's what it's all about, and we've got that. I mean, it's taken us. This is our second season in the Open Championships, and last year we got it together as a crew. We've done very well, and we've really gelled together now. We've got lots of women in the crew. They have a good laugh with us, the same as we have with them. It's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, and you certainly contribute to the fun, don't you?
I try.
You try. Julie, it's great to have these mixed sports. On average, how many women are there compared to the guys?
Compared to the guys, well, we've got about 14, 15 women in the crew altogether. But because it's a social event, it always depends on how many women we have turn up to each event, each venue.
Oh, right. So if you were looking for any new recruits, what would one have to do to join the Colne Norton Dragons?
Basically, we always welcome new people. We're always looking for new people to give the sport a go. We have 3 training sessions on a Sunday morning, a Wednesday evening and a Friday evening. And we're just at the bridge at Eton in Windsor, so you really couldn't miss us. And you can hear the drums banging miles away. So it's really good fun.
Great, so there's hope for me yet.
Absolutely.
Now, with all these events going on throughout the year, you're travelling up and down the country. Isn't it quite a financial burden on you, really?
It is, really. We have to support ourselves at the moment, but obviously we do welcome sponsorship and we're actively seeking sponsorship at the moment. So anybody that is interested in sponsoring us, it's a very popular sport. It's the most popular water sport at the moment going, and it's growing and it's so much fun. So, you know, it's a great opportunity for businesses to publicise themselves as well as helping us.
Yeah, it looks great fun to me. I'm sure you'll get lots more sponsorship after today. What time is your next race?
It's coming up in about half an hour, I think.
Oh, great. I wish you the best of luck.
All right, thank you very much.
Can you sum up dragon boat racing for me in 3 words?
Fun, exciting, just basically brilliant.
Exciting, challenging, and a good interest always.
Hi girls, have you got lots of energy left for the next race?
You have, because you have quite a gap between each race, and each race is only a couple of minutes that you recover quite quickly, so you can give your all in the next race. That's the good thing about it.
Are you nervous about the next race?
Not at all, I'm very confident we'll be out there. We're a fairly young team, but last year we actually made our mark within the world. And watch out, world, because we're here to stay and we'll come and get you.
Well, it's been a very exciting, entertaining and very rewarding day for the Colne Norton Dragons here at Millwall Docks, and we look forward to hearing from them more in the future.
My apologies to Elaine Ford. I said Elaine Arnold. I don't know why. What can I tell you? Also, many congratulations to the Colne Norton Dragons. We've just heard, hot off the press, they were second in the European Championships. So, well done. Great stuff, and congratulations to our man Neil Morris, our cameraman there, for some superb camera work. Well, the time has come, I'm afraid. I can't think of a better way to end the programme, can you? Possibly not, but if you can, write to us and let us know. I hope you've enjoyed the show this week, and if you didn't, well, you're already dead. If you'd like to write to us, we'd love to hear from you. The address for your letters is the following: Scene on 7, WMtv, P.O. Box 7, Slough, SL3, 6ET. And our excellent moving magazine service is available free 24 hours a day. To use it, leave a message at the usual number 0753 811 817. That's 0753 811 817. Many thanks for watching. I hope you can join me next week for Scene on 7. Am I over there? Oh, no, that's not me. Right, yes. OK, I hope you can join me next week for Scene on 7. Join me at the same time. Take care. Have a good week. Bye-bye. Let's have a good day, lads.